It looks like the big reveal that Justin Wong and John D were gonna make tonight kinda got leaked ahead of time by Iconic Arcade. So here we go, it's one cabinet with two different designs themed around Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha 2. Now I just want to stop for a minute and say that I did predict that this would be a Street Fighter 3 themed cabinet, and I was wrong on that end, but Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is one of the 14 games listed for these cabinets. So does that mean I was half correct? So let's run through this list of games real fast. We've got first Base Vanilla Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Hyper Street Fighter 2 The Anniversary Edition, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, 1944, Pro Gear, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Knights of the Round, Final Fight, and Giga Wing 2. Now, Arcade1Up has released several different Street Fighter 2 cabinets over the years, but they never left that series of games. They never got into Alpha, and they definitely never got into Street Fighter 3. So if you're looking for a more comprehensive experience with playing Street Fighter in the arcades, this will probably be the one you want to go with. I'd really like to know why Arcade1Up never bothered with a Street Fighter Alpha or SF3 cab, because I think if they were to announce those today, that would get people interested in the company again. At least those would be new games from the company, and not just rehashes of Pac-Man, yet again, and then whatever that skinny version of NBA Jam was supposed to be. Now I'm looking at the two designs for the cabinet, Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior and Street Fighter Alpha 2, and I just can't decide which one of them I would rather have if I was going to get one. Because on the one hand, the Arcade1Up Capcom Legacy cabinet has basically the exact same theming as the Street Fighter 2 version. The Street Fighter Alpha 2, though, doesn't look like any of the other cabinets Arcade1Up has already released, and honestly, I really kinda like this image of Ryu and Akuma having a stare down. Now let's compare the size of an Arcade1Up to this new iconic arcade machine. The X-Men 97 edition of the MVC2 cabinet stands at 61.5 inches tall, it's 23.5 inches deep, and 19.6 inches wide. The Street Fighter Iconic arcades are 67 inches tall, 28 inches deep, and 23 inches wide, which means they're a little bit bigger than a 1-up. The increased size for these new products is probably a good call, because one of the constant complaints about the 3/4 size Arcade1Ups was that anytime more than one adult is trying to play these at the same time, it's going to be a big hassle to fit everybody in there. And I've said before that personally I wish that Arcade1Ups were just a few inches taller, and I think this 67-inch upgrade here could make things a lot more comfortable for me. And instead of the 17-inch screens that Arcade1Up uses, these guys are going to be going with 19 inches. Not to mention that these are also going to have light-up marquees and coin doors, though I'm not sure if these are actually going to be functioning coin doors in that you push the button and then you get a credit that way. But it's also going to have HDMI out so that you can actually stream yourself playing on these cabinets. Now, I'm not sure how long it'll take before we actually get to see the physical quality of this machine as compared to a 1-up, because we all know that the Arcade1Ups could not stand much brutality and were prone to breaking if you pushed buttons and rotated the sticks too hard. But just looking at this new wave of Street Fighter cabinets, it looks like the idea here is to take what Arcade1Up was doing and try to do it a little bit bigger and a little bit better. So now let's discuss a very important element: the price. Consulting the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 X-Men 97 Arcade1Up cabinet again, the price tag on it is $49.99. The new cabinets, $799.99. Although there appears to be a pre-order sale going on right now which knocks off $100. So yeah, these are a little bit more expensive, but I think I can understand it. It's a little bit bigger of a machine, and you do get more games, and the fact that it's got 3 Alpha games and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on there, it's not an unfair deal, I think. Overall, I think this is a pretty nice first announcement from the US brand of Iconic Arcade. You can't really go wrong with Street Fighter 2. And the fact that if you really wanted to do a Third Strike tournament and live stream that to an audience, you could HDMI out it to a public gathering in maybe your house or at some little local store or something like that onto a bigger screen. That's actually doable now. These new cabinets launch in June, which isn't really all that far away, and I'm really curious as to how people are going to react to them. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Iconic Arcade bringing these to the States? Or does the fact that Arcade 1UP has already done several different Street Fighter II cabinets make you not really care about this announcement? Thanks for watching this video, I really appreciate it. If you want to support my channel, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Maybe you could become a member of the channel if you'd like to do that, or you can donate to my channel over on my Ko-fi page. Now, I'm going to go see if Arcade 1UP is planning to announce anything today, and being totally prepared for it to be yet another iteration of Pac-Man.